In iPad OS 17, we finally have the feature that was added to our phones in iOS 16, and that is the ability to personalize our lock screens. Now, there's plenty you can personalize here, so I'm going to try and be as condensed as I can, but certainly Apple have given us a lot of options. Let's jump to my iPad and take a look at what you can do. So there are two ways you can actually personalize your home screen. And that is one by holding your finger on the screen when the image is visible. So here my iPad is locked. I can take my finger, rest it on the screen, and it will zoom out from that current wallpaper and then allow me to either swipe across or you can touch this plus button. Touch the plus button and it comes up with add new wallpaper. If I slide across and hit the plus button here, guess what? Same, add new wallpaper. Now, lots of options at your disposal. And if you look across the top, here are some of Apple's suggestions. It's saying that you can go touch here and select any of your photos to add to this lock screen. You could hit photo shuffle where it will go and find what it believes are a good combination of photos. And not on my iPad, because it's only recently updated to this operating system, it's still it's still processing through my library to figure out what photos could be used. I could come in here and choose these photos manually, and that then they will shuffle through whatever photos I select, or you can allow your device to find them for you. So I'll come back and film this video again, this section of it, once this process is finished. And it's already been a week. So this might take a couple of weeks before it actually shows you the groups of photos, depending on how many photos you have. So I'm going to touch outside of that area. You can also create emoji lock screens for those of you who like to have a bit of fun, entertaining. You might put wine glasses here. You can put just, I think every emoji that's available on the device, you can turn into your lock screen. Okay. And I'll just hit cancel here. Then you can do the weather and it will look up your local location and put that information up on the screen. Hit cancel here. You can choose astronomy and you can also choose colors. That's this option here. Now you can scroll down the page to take a look at what these could look like. So here it's featured, we've got astronomy, weather, emojis, colors, and you can take a look through these options. You can see some of the suggested photos that it's already coming up with here. Scroll down for weather and astronomy as its own dedicated area, kaleidoscope, emoji, unity, pride, collections, color. So all these combinations. But within these combinations are even more combinations. So let's take a look here at the featured one of astronomy as an example. So when I first open that up, it's sensing that I'm here in England. It put the little green dot to show that here I am in England. And it's giving me some suggestions on the left-hand side as to what widgets it would put with this particular lock screen. But take note that there are dots down the bottom. And so not all of the lock screens will have dots, but if you do see dots, that means you can swipe from left to right or right to left to see other options. So here it zooms in a little bit closer. See, and then it identifies where I am on the map right now. So this will change to show where you currently are. I'll swipe again, and now we've moved to the moon. I'll swipe again. We zoom in on the moon. And this will be the phase of the moon where you are. I'll slide across here, and here's Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Doesn't that look stunning? And these are real NASA images. I think this one's from a Cassini spacecraft. So it's a genuine photograph taken by the spacecraft. There's Uranus and Neptune. And then we get the entire solar system. And this is where the planets actually are right now around the solar system, albeit in a circular diagram rather than the actual proper orbits that they have. Obviously, to scale, it wouldn't even fit. And then we slide. No, we've hit the limits. And then you can slide back through the list again. So plenty of options here just under the one astronomy section, and you can see how it creates this depth effect. And so now I'm going to touch add. I'm going to say, I like this. And it gives you the option to set as a wallpaper pair. And what that means is this will be your lock screen and this will be your home screen. Now, for those of you that have been following me for a long time, you'll know that I try and keep the home screen quite plain because it can be very difficult to read or to see your apps if you don't. So if you do choose to set as a wallpaper pair, what I then do is hit customize. I touch on the home screen. So this is the lock screen on the left, home screen on the right. I'll touch on here and I normally add the blur effect and then I'll hit done. Okay. And now here's my current lock screen. And again, the time's just disguised. It's got a depth effect there. If I unlock my device ready for use, you can still see that the image is in the background, but it's blurred, which means all of these icons pop. Now, to really demonstrate why I suggest doing that, I'm going to rest my finger again on the screen, slide across, touch plus, and this time I'm going to select kaleidoscope. So we hit kaleidoscope here, and it's a nice big bright kaleidoscope. If I choose to add this as a wallpaper, as a home screen, a lock screen and a home screen, I'll set it as a wallpaper pair. And if I choose not to customize and blur the background, let's take a look at what happens when I unlock the device. Now, firstly, you'll see the kaleidoscope moves, which is pretty cool. But now look, it is so hard to read this screen. We've got blue icons on the blue background. We've got white writing that makes it just really busy. So in my opinion here, I'm going to get back to the lock screen and I'm going to show you the second way you could do that now is I'm going to go into settings and I'll come up here to wallpaper. So here's wallpaper. And so now I can see in a moment, it just populates. So if I slide, you can see there's the astronomy one I did. There's my original one that we started with. So as I slide along, you can see I can see all the different lock screen and home screens I've created. But now I'm going to touch on this home screen to customize it. I'm going to hit blur, then touch done in the top right corner. And now when we go back to the home screen, see how much easier it is to see our app icons. So I'll go back to the lock screen. So there's the kaleidoscope moving. I unlock and the kaleidoscope fades into the background or blurs itself into the background, enabling you to see your icons far more easily. Okay. So lots and lots of combinations to play with here. I really love the fact that we are able to personalize, to have so many different home screens for the different mood that we might be in. Once again, I can just hold my finger, flick over, touch plus, and add as many different types as I like. So let's add one of me there. And you'll notice here it says swipe between styles down the bottom and pinch to crop. So I can take my two fingers here. I could choose to change, zoom in, zoom out to some degree on that image. But also because I have these dots down the bottom, I can swipe and you can see it's adding different filters. So it's going black and white, it's adding color over it. That's the studio look. And then this one's actually including the background. So we can see the clouds in the background. So lots of different combinations that we're able to customize. In fact, you can customize so many things. You can customize the font here. You can touch on the clock and change how thick the writing or the numbers. You can change the style of the numbers. I mean, it goes on and on, the customization that you can do here. So it can be a little bit overwhelming. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. It's just showing you that there's so many different combinations. Set as a wallpaper pair, but here, customize home screen, always going to hit customize home screen and hit blur, tap on done. And now I have the photo as the lock, unlock blurs into the background. I think that's just a really nice effect. Enjoy the customization, the personalization of the lock screen. Wonderful to see that Apple have migrated this from the iPhone to the iPad. Let me know how you go if you have any questions or issues in setting up your own personalized lock screen.